Hello, this is Gerardo Valero, and today I'd like to talk to you about Planet of the Apes, a saga that consists of the original entry, classic entry, discussed on the intro of this piece, plus 4 sequels, 2 TV series, 1 remake, with another on the way. The first entry manages to mirror human society in a way in which we can clearly see what's wrong with it. The first sequel, Beneath, left all of these philosophical questions aside and went solely for action and violence, making us believe that a society, an underground society, existed in which the ruins of one New York City landmark after the other can be found within steps of each other. This upside-down world in the sequel is still fun to visit, but when we see the underground creatures communicating telepathically and adoring a nuclear bomb, we cannot help but thank Charlton Heston for pulling the trigger. Now, part 3 started on the right note by giving us a simple but fresh premise in which 3 of the chimpanzees from the future time traveled to today's world, or at least 1972, even though going completely against the time traveling theories set up in the first 2 movies. The movie manages to reverse the discrimination inflicted on the humans against the apes, and it anticipated Terminator with its ideas about the killing of a future military leader before he's actually born. The best thing about the film is the end, in which the infant son of Cornelius and Sierra is shown to utter his first words just a few minutes after he's actually being born. Part 4 is basically an action film in which, once it sets the premise of an ape rebellion in which humans will be defeated, it doesn't take time to explain to us how one single talking ape could make thousands of other ones speak. This is a film with very few ideas that try to make us believe that once about a 2-block city radius falls into the hands of the apes, the whole planet is now in their possession. Part 5 is called Battle, and it follows the events of Part 4, in which we see human beings and apes trying to live side by side. Unfortunately, it doesn't explain how humans became mute as they are shown in Part 1, which was the whole point about the rebellion in Part 4. The same applies also to the TV series, which plays very much like an episode of the Fugitive, in which we see the heroes cornered at the beginning of the episode and barely manage to escape at the end of each one. Now, the biggest disappointment in the whole series was the Tim Burton remake, especially considering the talent and the technology involved. This is an action war movie in which years later you cannot remember who was fighting what for, and the only really important quotes in the movie are read from the first movie. And now, to close this segment, let's propose another suggestion for Evert's little movie glossary, and this one is called Time to Face Gravity. And it has to do with the fact that whenever any characters land in any kind of planet, that planet has to have exactly the same diameter than Earth, based on the fact that the gravity is always shown to be exactly the same as in this planet. Think, for example, of the Star Trek and Star Wars and Lost in Space and all those kind of features. Anyway, I thank you very much for listening to this review, and until next time, el balcón está cerrado.